Welcome back to the Available Post podcast, the podcast where I speak into the abyss. And I hope someone listens. I'm your host, Callum, and it's time to get wet and wild. That's right, it's October 1st. It is spooky month officially. I'm here. I'm gonna promise double uploads all month. So you know what? Get on that subscribe button. Get on that little bell icon so you can get annoyed at different times during the day. Randomly. Maybe at least twice a day. Maybe I'll do 3 times an upload on days. Who knows? I have no idea. You don't have an idea. It doesn't matter. The moon gives me full power. It's perfect. October, best month. I'm feeling hyped. I'm feeling good. And, of course, because it's, Halloween season, I'm a devourer of horror content. I'm going to try and get more horror-style content. Or I'm going to fake some horror-style content. Who knows what's going to go on? But yeah, look forward to all that. That's going to be great. And thanks for coming by and listening now. Because this is what's happening. I'm doing this off the dome. You know how it is. It's not the first episode I've ever done. I've been doing it since, earlier this year. And yeah, I don't edit. I barely even know how. But that's the thing. But because it's horror season, I thought it would be great to give you some actual news today. Only because in the past, week, Canada's been on some hard drugs. I don't know what's going on. First thing I want to talk about, there was a nice little address to Vladimir Zelensky as he came to visit Parliament Hill today, this month. And, well, that's neither here nor there. That's fine. Whatever that is. But having everyone do a standing ovation to an actual Nazi, that was pretty great. That was a pretty cool thing Parliament did. The biggest blunder I think I've ever seen politically, without vetting someone, they got all the top leaders to clap for a Nazi. That's insane. The speaker has now since resigned, stepped down, everyone's apologized, and said they didn't have any access to vet this person and didn't know who they were before, the news came out that they might have been part of some secret groups that not so great during the war. We're not talking modern day whatever goes on the wrong subreddit. We're talking 1940s 1940s bad dude. So that was a bit of a misstep for Canada, I would say. Yeah, sometimes you slip, you fall, and you clap for a literal Nazi, which is bad. In case anyone here is wondering, I don't think that's a good thing. I do find this story, darkly hilarious. So there's that. Yeah. Second thing we got on this lovely, lovely, lovely Canadian thing. This is a bit more. Well, I guess there's a couple more things. I only had 3 things written down, but there's a couple more things. We got Ontario backing down from their destruction of all Greenland property to create houses on it. In recent events, Douglas, our Lord and Savior Douglas Ford, decided that maybe destroying protected property and building houses on swamps is bad idea. Also, if I do that, they might uncover all the back shady dealings he's been doing. And he also had a couple cabinet ministers resign. So yeah, he's gonna have to shuffle some things around. So that's pretty wild. Definitely more insidious and money hungry than clapping for a Nazi, but equally as tasteless, I think. But him backing down from the thing, all in all, is good. The pushback actually worked. He's not going to go destroying protected property to build houses for his buds. Because it's not going to be affordable housing. It's not actually going to solve a housing crisis. Which brings me to my next point. Good old, our Prime Minister, to solve the housing crisis, is going to give rebates to people building houses. And if you want a little economical breakdown on how that's not going to work, the houses were going to get built anyways. Giving them more money does not make the houses cost less to buy. If that makes any sense to anybody. The housing market and the building market don't actually have that much in common. It's all about property value, neighborhood, how much you can sell something for anyways, because when the houses, like, let's just say in the GTA were built, they weren't built for that much money. They were sold without that much money, but now they're, 400 times the amount they were sold for originally. Of course, inflation, whatever, even if you want to do, even if you want to do inflation and all that, and, do that calculation, it's still ridiculous that the prices are as high as they are. Even if you go as farther away from the GTA, farther away in southern Ontario, even out in the middle of nowhere, houses still completely unaffordable. Rent is $1,800 minimum for a 1-bedroom, even a bachelor. I think the average is that. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. And giving free rides to a bunch of big corporations is not exactly how you solve that problem. But that's okay. What do I know? I'm not the Prime Minister. On top of that, Alberta is just so happy that their oil's doing so well for these past 2 years, I guess, but they were crying 2 years ago or 3 years ago that, I don't know, they're not making any money because of the oil. So they're so confident right now that they're deciding to scrap the Canadian pension plan and make their own Alberta pension plan. Hell yeah, good idea. Pretty much what they're doing is they're saying that if you want to retire in Alberta after, the oil tanks again, you're not going to make any money and you're going to have to work the oil mines. Really cool stuff. And that is my little horror news cap for today. But I got some more news, just not Canadian news. Unity gave us a tasty little new meal plan for everybody to, have a little taste of, Unity earlier this month, or earlier in September, because it's October now, goddamn. Not when I'm recording this, but Unity said, it'd be cool if you guys actually paid us per download. And don't ask how we're going to track that. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Also, we're going to scrap some creator programs and make it so you have to buy our bigger programs, even if you want to use the little stuff. Also, put a big, silly Unity watermark over everything. And people didn't like that. People thought, this meal is not really tasty. And Unity said, I don't care, actually. Sorry that you guys don't understand our plan, but this is our plan. And people kind of just decided to jump ship. I think everyone jumped ship to Unreal Engine or one of the open source platforms like Godot. I've been talking about Godot forever. Godot's great. Godot is what, once it starts getting, obviously it's, from what I understand, it doesn't have the same user assets as Unity has, but I think Godot, with a bit more time and more funding, which is what's going to happen, is that if more people are using it, I'm sure there's more people that are going to pay into a little bit of it, especially because it's completely free. And they could take a third of what they were spending on Unity, give it to Godot, and I think Godot will be a way better program in no time flat. But that's fine. Unity definitely was also trying to get people retroactively for downloads and stuff, because I think they want to hit Genshin and other big games like that, the free to play models. But people did some breakdowns and said, oh, actually there are certain scenarios which if you're built your game on Unity and you have a certain kind of model, you actually have to owe Unity more money than you've been making, because of the thresholds just didn't make sense. The tracking didn't make sense. They didn't know how to get past demos. You're going to have to pay Unity for demo downloads, for multiple downloads for different systems from the same user. different IPs. Like if I have like 2 computers and I download, or even if I have like a phone and I have a PS5 and I have a computer and I have Genshin and all those, that would consider 3 downloads for Unity. It was crazy. They've walked back some of that stuff, but I think they're still keeping this download, like pay per download weird nonsense at higher level stuff, and I don't know. I think that's just it's some EA microtransaction nonsense garbage, and yeah. Like I've said in some of my past videos that have been put up on the channel, Unity can suck it. They could suck a big one. I think they have definitely lost the trust of most of the people there, and I hope, at least with Unreal Engine, they're up front with that you have to pay. You know, they're going to take a cut, not per download, just like per revenue. It's like a revenue cut. It makes, as a business model, it makes sense. But Unity's really trying to get at it, and it does remind me a lot of Wizards of the Coast trying to do that with Dungeons and Dragons content, when they were like, anything from D&D Beyond, we want you to not D&D Beyond, whatever it is, the online thing. Anytime you make a manual, anytime you do that, they're like, we want to make a cut of the revenue. We want to make a cut of your revenue of like streaming. We want to make a cut of revenue of your YouTube videos. We want to just own all the property, even though you put all the work in. And it was pretty much unanimous. Suck it, Wizards. We're not going to let you do that. There's no way. And I think Unity saw that and said, yeah, but we're Unity. What are they going to do? Not make games? And the answer is no, there's more platforms. They think they're the only platform in existence. It's great. It's awesome. Same with D&D. D&D, people are just like, cool, we're going to play Shadowrun, like Netrunner and stuff like that, or Shadowrun, whatever. We're going to play different like variations of tabletop RPGs. Although D&D is pretty classic and probably gets more hits because that's the one people know, because the whole 90s and 80s D&D satanic terror probably made D&D more popular than it ever could have been. Which, there you go. There you go. Suck that, conservatives, I guess. I don't know who put all that stuff on concerned parents. What you did was make the game more popular. Congratulations. That being said, we had that's the Unity. That's my little game dev insight. Ooh, good stuff. Speaking of game dev insight, though, E3 came out in September, and if you've never watched E3, like I have never watched it, I just found out about it this year. It is a treat to watch, and especially if you like indie horror games, you should definitely check out E3. That was great. It was special. There was so many cool demos and stuff. A bunch that I've actually played on my channel. If you want to go check those out, absolutely. Stuff like Adama and Fear the Spotlight. I also played very recently. There's a couple other ones on there, like not Hollow Body. I think Hollow Body was there as this like shown as like a demo. But you know, the Heartworm was definitely shown on there, which if you've watched this channel and you're watching this now, there's like a 90% chance that Heartworm's what roped you in. The other 10% is probably magic videos, and then my other videos don't get hits, but that's fine. I live it. I love it. And yeah, E3, definitely cool. I will be today on the 27th of September, 2023. I will be actually playing some of because the Haunted PS1 comes out with a big demo disc every year, and so I haven't played any of the demo discs, so I got some of the previous year's demo discs. I don't know if this current year's one's out yet, but I have some of the previous year's ones downloaded, and that's going to be my Hump Day Horror today, so that's going to be pretty fun. What else we got? Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate. It's pretty crazy. Obviously, people will probably be talking about Baldur's Gate until the end of the world, till the planet explodes, because it is actually just an amazingly made game. But you know, I started off at PS5 when it came out of PS5, playing it split screen with my wife. Super fun. First times it was very clunky. The loadings, it loaded every time you tried to switch characters. It was really There was a lot of lag input. Every time you tried to summon something, the game tried to explode. More things on play. It was really tough. It was really clunky, and I was like, well, it makes sense, right? It's like a massive game. It's all this. The latest patch, literally no latency, no like changing characters totally fine. Loading screens don't do anything. It is insane how a game with no microtransactions and no like battle pass, no dumb stuff, came out and just said, actually, we're just gonna like fix the game for you, and now it's gonna be so playable. Like that is, it's actually a dream come true. The Baldur's Gate experience now after this latest patch has been so good that yeah, it's so awesome. I'm blown away. I'm not even past Act 1 yet, and I'm having such a fun time. Baldur's Gate, 10 out of 10. I actually probably think, as much as I love Wulong, and I know it would never win Game of the Year because it kind of had a stinky old release, I think Baldur's Gate deserves Game of the Year. Like, Final Fantasy 16 was going to be like, oh my god, that should be the Game of the Year because it's just so masterfully done and, like, fun and good story and awesome voice acting. But Baldur's Gate, I mean, unfortunately, Baldur's Gate, not even unfortunately, Baldur's Gate is something very special that deserves all the recognition it gets. And I'm going to say, if you find it on sale or something, or you can just play some Baldur's Gate, I think you'll probably spend a good amount of time playing Baldur's Gate. It's really fun. It's really good. All right. Well, what do we got? What do we got planned for? What do we got planned for this beautiful October time? Well, first of all, there's going to be lots of Magic content. I got a bunch of horror-themed decks. Yeah, that's fun. Blah, 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 blah. There's going to be the Haunted PS1 game stuff. Sure. I'm going to look for some more horror games. I don't know. Maybe I'll get Amnesia the Dark. I'm not getting Amnesia the Dark Descent. I'm probably not gonna get Amnesia, run around, scream, and yell slurs. I think that's as much as my channel feels like a relic from the past, that's the thing I don't like to mimic. So I'm not gonna do that. But what I do have are teleporter shows. We got one October 3rd at the Onyx in Guelph. Hell yeah. We got one October 26th in Hamilton at the Doors Pub. It's gonna be fun. If you're in Southern Ontario and in that very specific location at that time, at that day, whatever the time is, probably a night show. My guess would be shows don't start before 6, that's for sure. So come on down. Watch some teleporters live. We got new music. It's being mixed right now. As you're listening to this, it might be already mixed, maybe even mastered. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. Together, we don't know. But I'm excited to see how it goes. That's my little teleporters news. I'm super hyped for all that stuff. Now, we got upcoming games. Now, the best thing about Twitter, formerly known as X, formerly known as Twitter, Twitter X. The best thing about that is that it's easy to find cool new horror games because if you just follow a couple of developers, because all the developers try and hype each other up, and basically it just ends up with being like a big developer smooch fest. But I'm not a developer. I just kind of look and I just creep. I'm the creep that goes and looks into the stuff and says like, oh, that's cool. But After Image is a game that is coming out tomorrow, September 28th, that I am super hyped for, and I think that's going to be the next Hump Day Horror kind of playthroughs. And I'm very much looking forward to that bad boy. I got some like other stuff up my sleeve if all that falls through. I could play Graveyard Keeper. I've had that installed on my computer for a while, and I'm looking at it. It looks like fun. Looks like a little like Farmville thing. Not Farmville, Stardew Valley, but for a Graveyard Keeper, which I don't know, that sounds like it could be interesting. Slightly horror themed, fun, good time. That's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to talk about. I'm just really hyped for this beautiful, beautiful October. I'm going to be eating pumpkins every day. I'm going to be wearing pumpkins on my... I've been messing around with GIMP 2.10.34 because that is the open source image making stuff, and I am really bad with editing images. I can definitely tell everybody that I am very bad at... As you can see, look at this. Look at this beautiful little like icon right here. I just used Paint Tool with a paintbrush, and I made the Available Post podcast over top of someone else doing that. That art is definitely not my art. Behind the Available Post podcast stuff, that is beautiful art from my. It was a birthday gift. It was a wedding gift. I think it was a wedding gift. It was something. It was some kind of gift. Either way. Yeah, what am I saying? I've been working with GIMP, so I might actually have some different kind of I might fool around with some little thumbnails. Just to, not because I think it's gonna make people click on my videos more, mostly for my own entertainment, which is, why I make my titles the way I do. That's for my entertainment. Why I make this podcast, also for my entertainment. If you're entertained, that's a bonus. But that's good. In the description, in the app below bit, in the comment section, there's a comment section, because this is only found on YouTube. You can find me on youtube.com/FarrellLamb. And you can also find me on twitch.tv/FarrellLamb if you so choose to go on Hump Day Horror and watch me live and come chat. Maybe a little bit, not too much. Don't be chatting too much. Sometimes we get weird chatters, and I don't know if I feel good about that. Well, now I'm tangenting. Now I'm talking about twitch.tv, and like, what was it, last Hump Day Horror, which was, I guess, the 20th. I played, first of all, played a bunch of games. It was great. I played Killer Frequency. I finished that. It was awesome. There was a part where I actually almost died in real life because they were talking about someone going into shock, and I was trying to walk them through being stabbed. And I had to lay down on the floor with my legs elevated, or I might have passed out and killed myself on table. I would have hit my head on the table, would have fallen down. It would have been a big mess. Yeah, and then my dog would have just looked at me like, and it would have been fine. But I didn't die. But that was cool. And then, so I finished Killer Frequencies. I didn't actually. You could go and watch the video now. There's the part where I go quiet, and I think I talked to the chat. But that was good. Chat there, awesome. Had a great time. They were cool. I was cool. I don't know if I was cool. That's probably a stretch, but they were definitely cool. I really liked that chat. But then I played Fear the Spotlight, and like for 80% of the playthrough, super fun. Last little bit, you get one weird chatter. I should have just banned them, but I didn't. I let them talk, and they were just talking nonsense, cryptic stuff. They wanted to be depressed in my chat for no reason, and I don't know, kind of killed the vibe. Almost made me want to not do Hump Day Horror, but then I thought, no, I have to do Hump Day Horror, because if I don't, someone else is going to do Hump Day Horror. And that's my thing. Okay, well, anyways, I was going somewhere with this. It doesn't really matter. You can find me all over those places. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the comment section below this video. The comment section below this video, you can be weird there. I have actually it's the live thing that I'm like, if you're going to be weird live, I'm probably just going to block you. But if you're going to be weird on YouTube, YouTube's just going to either probably delete your message, which is fine with me, or, I can just read that, and it's not like you're not going to get that live reaction from me where it's like, oh, that sucks. And then I just ignore it. But you can say, hey, there's like this cool game, or hey, there's this cool like magic deck I want you to play, or hey, cool, like I wish you would have a bit more focus in your podcast. Which suck it. I don't want more focus in my podcasts. If I focus more in my podcast, how would I make a podcast? What you think? You think I'm like I don't even know. Is there any popular podcasts? Do podcasts get popular? Who knows? I'll never know. The only podcast I know is my podcast. And that's not true. But that's what I'm going to tell you right now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. There's nothing to watch. It's just a screen with the Available Post podcast there. But thanks for coming by on this podcast experience. And I will see you either on Hump Day Horror as I live stream, or, triple, quadruple, 8 times upload, promised, every single day. You're going to have 56 videos every day. It's not true. There's going to be 2 videos every day, at least. minimum for October. That's at least 62 videos. It's going to be sweet. I don't know what I'm going to do for Halloween yet. I might get a webcam. I might do a IRL stream with a pumpkin on my head. I have no idea. Who knows? Who cares? I care a little bit. You should care too. Smash that like button. If you made it all the way here to this rambling, you're good. You're good. You're good. All right? Yeah. Have a great time. Welcome to October. Clearly, the moon, the coffee, everything's pumping me up. I'm getting hyped. I'm going to go make content. I'm going to play a zombies deck. I don't know. Who knows what I'm going to do? Woo! It's going to be crazy. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.